Hello, kids. I'm Mr. Z, and I love reading. When I was a kid, I read a lot of children's books that got me into reading and helped me become a smarter adult. And so today, I want to read one of my children's books to you to help you get an idea of the joy of reading. Today, we're going to read one of my favorite children's books, There's a Hole in the Roof, by Wayne Walker. Illustrated by David Coverley. The hole in the roof was a small one at first. The rainwater barely leaked in. So the man sat and thought, as he rocked in his chair, just how he ought to begin. Should I patch it with straw, or with tar, or with wood, with pitch, or try cork, maybe tin? He thought and he studied, and then thought some more, and still the water came in. It started out slow with a drip on the floor. That drip was soon followed by more. In no time at all, while he studied and thought, the water had covered the floor. He tied an umbrella with rope to his chair and pondered the problem at hand. He knew from the past that to do a job well, it must always begin with a plan. The water leaked in as he studied and thought, and all the while as it rose, he scribbled and scratched with his pad and his pen as the water inched over his toes. His wife waded in with a scowl on her face and called to him from the front door, "I can't take this hole in the roof anymore, and this water all over the floor." But the man was so deep in the deepest of thoughts, as he rocked back and forth in his seat, that he hardly could hear a word that she said as the water rose over his feet. His kids and his wife floated by on a boat, as if they were lost on a sea. They waved a goodbye with a look of despair, as the water rose over his knee. "Don't panic," he called. "Don't worry or doubt. You must always believe that you can." For he knew in his heart that if given the time, he'd come up with a wonderful plan. He'd plug up that hole. He'd stop that darn leak. He'd save his fine home from disaster. But no matter how hard he struggled to think, he just couldn't think any faster. Some food, he decided, is all that I need. Then once and for all, I'll get going. But I'd better eat fast to feed my poor brain, or soon I will have to start rowing. Still the water leaked in as he studied and thought, and covered some bread with plum jelly. He scribbled and scratched and munched on his snack as the water rose up to his belly. Then all of a sudden, from the depths of the sea, a shark's fin sliced through the blue. It circled his chair, and it snapped at his feet, with hardly a how do you do. "Dad blasted," cried he, "I'll be eaten alive. This calls for fast action, and now. I'll fix that big hole, and I'll hook that mean shark, as soon as I figure out how." But he didn't do this, and he didn't do that. In fact, he did nothing at all, except stay in his chair and scratch on his head and hope that the roof didn't fall. Then it came to him quick, and it came to him sudden, and he knew what it was he should do. He'd swim to the bottom, drill a hole in the floor, and let all of the water run through. But as soon as he perched on the edge of his chair and got ready to make his big dive, a thought crossed his mind that jiggled his brain. "Will I ever come back alive? And should that hole be round, or square, or small, or large and wide? And should I cut it from end to end, or saw it from side to side?" The water leaked in as he studied and thought. By then his house was a wreck. He scribbled and scratched with his pad and his pen as the water rose up to his neck. Well, the hole in the roof never did get fixed, and the water it rose and rose, till all you could see was the top of his head, while a bubble popped out of his nose. So while it is true that planning is good, before a job is begun, you must act on that plan with all of your might, or the job will never get done. Stay tuned for next time, when we read yet another one of my childhood books. Thanks for watching.